Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another episode of Personality Pick with the best guest in town this week being the man himself, Matt Frevola. Matt, how you doing? First and foremost, congrats on getting your fight on May 6th with Drew Dober. How are you feeling? Uh, Tell me all about it.
Yeah, man, we got a big one. I'm just enjoying the fight camp grind, man. Just day in and day out. We're working hard.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. We were talking about this before we aired. Uh, how did this fight formulate, or for lack of better words, how did this fight come about? Was it mainly Drew Dober that the UFC and you were targeting? Were there other names involved? Tell me all about that too.
No, I mean, I wanted a big fight. After the last two, we had two awesome first round knockouts, and I wanted a big fight. And I kind of had my sights set on Michael Johnson. I thought that fight made sense. Um, but
Banger.
Yeah, I thought that would have been a fun one. But I guess they didn't want that fight, and they came with us with Drew Dober, and I was like, even better.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They didn't want the Michael Johnson fight. We all know what would happen there.
Yeah, yeah, man. He's actually still crushing it, man. He's an OG in the game, and he's still on like a 2 or 3 fight winning streak, just still killing it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, from your last fight in November against Ottoman till now, how has the preparation for this fight been going? I know you've been flying all around, cornering your teammates, Nazim, Billy Q. How has the fight preparation been? Has there been anything new in the training room?
You kind of cut out at the end there.
Oh, shoot, my bad. What I was asking is, from your last fight in November against Ottoman till now, how has the preparation been this time around? I know you're flying on cornering Nazim and Billy Q.
Yeah.
Been anything different?
Yeah, it's going good. I'm always training. I'm always in the gym. Even if I don't have a fight coming up, I'm always either sparring somebody who has a fight coming up, or helping somebody who's got a fight coming. So I'm always in the gym. But I was out in Dubai, cornering
Mhm.
Dennis Bazooka. He fought for UAE Warriors, and he had an awesome first round finish for that
Yep.
promotion. And I actually got the fight news while I was out there. So it was a nice little end to that trip, and I got my news, and then as soon as I got home, we hit the ground running, and I've been grinding ever since. I would say I've been really I've been having about like a 11, 11, 12 week fight camp, but I was smart about it. I
Mhm.
didn't come out guns blazing. If you do that, that's how you get hurt. I built up, and now I'm in fight shape now. We're 6 weeks out. I'm at fight weight. I'm in fight shape, and I'm ready to make some serious gains.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Going back to May 6th, who are your main training partners for this camp? I know Billy Q is always a part of the regimen. Have you changed anything from camp to camp this time around?
I'm doing this whole camp back home in Long Island, and we got killers. It's murderers row with the Saralongo fight team. So I was getting a lot of rounds in with Dylan Montello. He's actually fighting this weekend for CFFC, and we also have Anthony Delemy fighting this weekend for CFFC. I was working with him. I was working with Bazooka for his camp. We have a kid, Justin Montavo, fighting for Bellator on Friday. I was
Yep.
working with. So there's never a short. There's never no high level training partners for me to train with here, because everybody's grinding, everybody's working, and whenever they need a body, all they gotta do is call Big Body Steam.
Now it's looking up for the Serra Longo boys. I mean, You have Marab getting that huge win. Aldo's still the champ. Obviously, if all goes according to plan for you on May 6th, who do you see being next for the steamroller? Looking up at the top 10, you have fighters like Renato Moicano, someone you've beaten, Jalen Turner, Michael Chandler, Armin. Who would be an ideal matchup for you, if it goes according to plan on May 6th, for you to break into that top 10?
Yeah, all those guys sound like awesome fights, man. That's what I always say about the lightweight division. It's like I'd say like the top like 15 of the lightweight division. I feel like anybody could beat anybody on any given day. Everybody's so high level. Everyone's so good. It's who shows up. But I'm gonna handle business May 6th, and then we'll see what's next. But I know there's a Scouser out there who just had surgery who needs to get beat up eventually, and it's only a matter of time before I smash that dude's face.
It's coming, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, the fight against Drew Dober, how does this play out? Where do you feel like you have an edge? If you want to speak about this at all, if not, I completely understand. I know how it is.
Yeah, he's an awesome fighter, man. I had so much fun, watching all his fights. Um, I can almost say that I like watching his fights. I'm a fan of his fights. He's got one of the best highlight reels of knockouts like in the UFC I've ever seen. And he throws down, man. He wants to stand. He's got some wrestling. He's got some jujitsu, but he's mainly in there looking to stand and bang, and that's what excites me the most about this fight, um, because he will, come to fight. He's not looking to come in there and like dance around or lay and pray or anything. He wants to come in there and fight, and that's the only way I know how to fight. So I think that's why it's going to be so exciting. You just got two guys, two blue collar Americans in there ready to throw down.
Yes, sir. And I mean, we all know how Drew Dober fights. He brings it. We all know how you fight. You bring it. It's hard to look past the fact, or past that moment where he got dropped in the first round against McKinney and got hurt really badly. And we know what you bring to the table. You go all out and balls to the wall in that first round. I think you could do the same. Uh, Now that we've covered the fight, I wanted to ask you about how you got into MMA and about your time in Thailand.
Yeah, man. I've always been an athlete. I got a twin brother. Me and him were always playing sports growing up. Playing football, playing baseball. And then I started wrestling. I wrestled in high school, and I was always like a good wrestler, but I never made it to states. I never placed in the counties or any of that. I pretty much just like I wrestled because it made you better at football. But shit, I'm glad I fucking wrestled now. Uh, uh, once I was done, I played a little junior college football. I played a little junior college lacrosse, and then I was a tough kid. I got into a street fight here or there, you could say, and I realized I wasn't going to the NFL. I kind of got kicked off the lacrosse team, and I was like, shit, man, what am I gonna do? And then I found Matt Serra. I found Sarah BJJ, and I walked into Sarah BJJ, thinking I was a tough guy, and I got humbled quick, man. I got humbled quick, and I kept showing up though. There's a lot of guys that walk into gyms thinking they're tough guys that get humbled and then they never come back. But I walked in that gym, I got humbled, and I fell in love with it. I kept showing up, I kept coming back, and and I fell in love with it, man. I fell in love with jujitsu, with MMA, with the UFC, and then I went down to Tampa. I went to University of Tampa, and that's when I met Billy Q. I met Matt Arroyo, and I met Dan Rawlings, and Dan Rawlings was a huge Muay Thai guy, and he really ignited my love for the art of eight limbs and Muay Thai, and and I started just always just like watching Thai fights, and I just thought it was so badass at like kicking people, kneeing people, elbowing people. I just saw yeah, I loved it, man. I love it, and it was a dream of mine to always go to Thailand and like learn from the motherland out there, and finally like I was able to go out there. I think the first time I went out there was maybe 2016 or 2015. I was able to go out there. I went to Bangkok. I was in Bangkok for a month. I actually linked up with the Muay Thai guy, Sean Fagan, if you know him.
Yep.
And I did one of his training camps out there. It was like one of his first training camps because I had no clue like how to do. Like it was just a dream to always go to Thailand, and I found Sean, and I told him that I wanted to come, and he kind of guided me, and I went out to Bangkok for a month and did a Muay Thai training camp at Kung Sita in Bangkok. And then I went to Phuket after Bangkok for about 2 weeks, and I was able to take a fight out there in Phuket. I trained at Tiger Muay Thai a little bit out there, and I had a Muay Thai fight out there. My first time I was out there,
How
and
did that go?
yeah, and then I've been back 3 other times now.
Wow. Wow. How did the fight go when you were out there? That first fight.
Oh man, it was wild. So like Thai fighters, it's completely different. Muay Thai, MMA, they score high on aggression. You want to be
Mhm.
aggressive in an MMA fight, but in Muay Thai fights, they almost look at aggression as you're kind of you're trying you're pushing it too much. You're
Mhm.
trying too hard. And they look at like evasiveness and technique and so the first round in Muay Thai fights is almost like a throwaway round. Like that's where all the bettors are betting. The only way that yeah the only way you could gamble in Thailand is on the Thai fights. So round one in a Muay Thai fight, you'll see they like trade kicks here or there, and all these Thais are like placing their bets, and everyone's going crazy in the round one. So when I was out there in my Muay Thai fight, I was like, all right, I'm gonna fight the Thai way. I did this whole Muay Thai training camp out there. I want to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Like, round one, I'm going slow. I'm ding ding ding, just like trading kicks here there, and then like right at the end of the round, we got in the clinch, and I was fighting some Thai kid, and he just smashes my nose and breaks my nose.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, man, and then the round ends, and I'm just like, all right, fuck this, man, all right. And then the next round, I just come out, and I come out the steamroller, this is the way I fight, and like I throw like my first combo, and I catch him with a left hook, like right on the temple, and face planted him, knocked him out. So it was cool.
Heavy leather.
Yeah.
Do you know if you were the underdog in that fight or if you were the favorite?
Dude, it was interesting, man, because I guess the Thai kid had like over 50 fights,
Oh shoot.
but and I had like no Muay Thai fights, but I also had like I must have had like 20 pounds on him. Like I was definitely on him. So it was, who knows?
How is that even regulated?
No,
There is no regulation.
that's how we didn't weigh in or anything, man.
Crazy.
Like I remember I just showed up. I showed up to Tiger Muay Thai. I jumped on the back of a motorbike of one of the trainers there, Cartoon. His name was Cartoon, and he just drives up to the little stadium in Phuket. He points at some kid. He's like, "Oh, you fight him! You fight him!" Like I look at the kid. I'm like yeah, like I'm like I'm bigger than this guy. You sure? And he's like, no, he's good, he has over 50 fights, very good, very good. I'm like okay, man. So I guess that's how they do it over there. They do like the big foreigner versus the experienced Thai to like kind of like weigh the odds.
you kind of had to have the idea in your head beforehand that you were just gonna knock this kid out if you were 20 pounds heavier looking at him.
Dude, I mean, it didn't matter who was in there. That's what I was gonna do, man.
That's true. That's true. That's hilarious. I'm planning on going out there to train next year, next summer. So
Nice,
I'm,
man.
I'm gonna look for Cartoon. I'm gonna look for him.
Yeah, man, it's such an experience. I always tell guys who want to go out there, it's like a hyperbolic time chamber of training. Like you go out there and you're just gonna do like so many rounds of pad work, so many rounds of sparring, day in and day out. It's a way of life out there, and like a month training out there, you're gonna come back with like a year worth of knowledge and training.
Given that you're saying that, are you planning on going anytime soon? Maybe after your next fight? What do you think?
Dude, I always want to go back, but I don't know. I gotta get wifey's approval now, and every time I go out there, like I like almost don't come back, so she won't let me go.
That's fair. That's fair. Last but not least, before we get into the comments, I wanted to thank you for your service, and I wanted to ask you how the army has shaped you into the man you are today as a family man and as a fighter.
Yeah, man, it was a cool experience, in the army. I did ROTC when I was at University of Tampa. I got to do some cool stuff when I was a cadet there. I got to go to West Point and train with all the cadets in West Point for a summer, and then I did military police. So I went out to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and I was out there for about like 6 7 months and learning just all military law and military policing, and then I did 8 years in the reserves, and it was cool. I didn't do any deployments. I almost did, but honestly, I was fighting, and my unit was really supportive of my fighting, which I was really lucky. Um, and I did my 8 years. I met a lot of cool people. I did a lot of cool stuff, and now now we're here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, thank you for your service. We do have a couple of questions before we end this off from some of the viewers. The first one being, do you have a dream fight if age was no issue? From Evan. Thank you for the question, Evan.
A dream fight if age was no issue. It, I think I'm like a huge BJ Penn fan. Like I love BJ Penn, and I feel like he's like that old school kind of just scrap kind of like
Uh-huh.
tough guy from Hawaii. Like used to beat up for people in Hawaii. I think that would have been like a dream fight for me and BJ.
Okay, that's a that's an awesome fight. Second question we have from Any Action Sportscast. In your experience so far, what is more important to a fighter's success, technique or the mentality?
Oh, you know, you gotta. I think technique comes through hard work, through training, through repetitions, through dedication. So you have to have the mentality, because this is not an easy thing. If it was easy, anybody would do it. I'm sure a lot of people are out there. Know there's a lot of guys out there who like to just say they're a fighter, and
Oh,
and
yeah.
not fight and not do any. Um, but you gotta have the mentality to make it through adversity, to get through the injuries. Everybody gets hurt. This is tough, man, and you got to be able to come back from those injuries, rehab the right way, come back from adversity, come back, when you lose, um, and stay the course. And so mentality is everything.
I couldn't agree more. Next question we have from Herb Dean Gold Standard Bets. We have three questions from him. He asks, if you think referees standing fighters up or separating a clinch should be abolished, or if there are any other rules in MMA that you think should just be written of.
Yeah, that's like a tough one. I don't really like to see stand-ups, but also, you got to be down there working.
Mhm.
You can't be laying and praying and doing nothing. Um, so, I think, in the right stand-up, is good for the sport, because nobody wants to see somebody just laying on top of you, holding you, doing nothing. And then doesn't one championship does like the yellow cards or something too, right?
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I gotta really kind of look into that. I'm not too sure about all that, but um, yeah, I think you need some stand-ups.
Mhm. I think that yellow card is kind of like their form of point deduction.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Hmm. His next question was if you had any ideas that you'd personally like to change, whether it's the judging criteria or how fights are scored in general, like the number of judges scoring a fight, judges watching on a screen versus watching live through an octagon fence. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely think they need to change something up with that. I mean, there's three judges. I think the you got to do better like screening of these judges and better uh, just I guess testing. Just make sure these judges are competent at their jobs, and then you need more judges. Instead of three, at least make five.
Hmm.
Uh, I think five judges. Would go a long way, and then you could put the other two, not cage side in a back room, without the crowd noise, without any of that, with all the camera angles they want. I think that would go a long way.
I couldn't agree more, especially over the past 3 weeks. I think specifically, we've had some of the worst judging in the UFC. For instance, the judge that scored the fight for Cheeto. I mean, that's just an all-time bad card there. And just looking at this track record of the past couple of weeks, and especially in the London card, where the fighter, I'm not gonna name him, the fighter who lost the fight and deservedly lost the fight was scored that he won all 3 rounds. I that is something that I could not really understand or wrap my head around. It's getting a little ridiculous, I would say.
Yeah, it really is, and they I think it's a easy, at least you put five judges, you put two of them in the back room with the monitors, especially at the highest level. I understand that it's tough for like regional shows to do that, but at the highest level, these judges, like, these fights mean a lot. It's a lot of money. It's a lot on the line. So I think they need to like look into doing that.
Absolutely. Or as our boy Mushroom says, just always one inside the distance, leave those cocksuckers out of it.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal. That's what we're trying to do.
Just doesn't always work that way. And then his last question was, do fighters still use IVs for weight cuts behind closed doors without going proper legal steps or doctors present if a commission even allows it?
Uh, I haven't seen anybody in the UFC do it. I think
Mhm.
maybe guys not in the UFC or not under USADA probably still use IVs to rehydrate, but I'm pretty sure rehydrating the normal way with liquids is better for you, is better, just for your overall rehydration than the IV. But I think the IV is just faster.
Yep,
When you get the IV on you, you just instantly, like, boom, you're back to life.
absolutely. Well, Matt, it's been a pleasure. I wanted to thank you, first of all, for hopping on the podcast and taking the time out of your day. I know you have a really busy schedule with the fight coming up, so from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. I know the fans really enjoyed this one. We have a bunch of comments in here that I'm going to go through. Is there anything else you wanted to leave us with before we let you go?
Man, I appreciate all you guys, just supporting me. I'm really trying to share a lot of my fight camp, and like, pump out a lot of cool content, whether it's through my fight camp, or all the cool shit that I'm able to do, throughout this journey, that MMA has let me do, and I want to share it with all you guys. And if anybody has anything that they want to see, or want me to share more of, feel free to let me know, and we'll work on it. And tune in. I appreciate you guys tuning in, because I'm coming to throw down. I'm a killer be killed kind of fighter, and that's how I do it. That's the only way I know how to fight. So I'm excited. I'm excited for May 6th. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna put it on this guy.
We're excited too. I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat could say that because your fights never disappoint. Matt, thank you so much again. I really appreciate it, and best of luck May 6th. I'm for sure gonna be watching.
Thanks. You got to come out to Jersey.
100%, dude. I would love to. I've been helping a lot of local fighters here, so I would love to be of any help if you ever need any body wise, or just a mind to look at film. I'm always here.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Of course. And guys, thank you so much for being active in the chat. Really appreciate it. But until next week, we'll see you later. Next week, we'll have an in-person interview with Victor Henry. See y'all later.